What's good, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how distractions are ruining your life, and you're going to want to stick until the end of this video, because at the end I'm going to give you how you can actually break free from them and then live a life of freedom. Sounds good? Let's go. Before we start, let me paint a picture. If you're living in this day and age of information era or information period, whatever that's called, where we have internet, we have photo, video, music, a lot of content. Also, we have a lot of advertisements and promotions that have nothing to do with us. You probably are getting all of these problems, or you're probably having the problems that I'm going to list right now in this video. One of them is being a victim of social media, being a victim of, we're not only talking about social media and internet, we're also talking about some bad activities, like for example watching a lot of TV shows, like binge watching, maybe indulging in junk food, whatever that might be, distractions that don't let you focus on other things which are important to your life. I guess 2 years ago I started preaching the idea of minimalism, and why I started preaching the idea of minimalism in the first place was I kind of felt that I had too many stuff in my life, or too many things that are not really related to me and that I don't really want to deal with. For example, I had clothes that I owned but I didn't really wear. I had a bunch of stuff that I didn't use at all the last 6 months, for example, or at the same time I was spending too much money on the things that were absolutely unnecessary to me. I label all of those things as distractions. The reason why is that when you spend money on some stuff, they take some emotional energy from you. Or, for example, even when I own this type of notepads and phones and bottles and computer, whatever that might be, they somehow take some energy from me, and it just, you know, it's something different than just not owning these things in the first place. Sounds very crazy, I know, but anyways. So I started preaching the idea of minimalism, and my life changed tremendously. I started owning less stuff, and at the same time I started saving and cutting back on the costs of my expenditures or my spendings, and it just changed my life completely. Why I'm doing this video in the first place is I want you, and I want me and all the people around me to become more free in our lives. And by free I mean not attached to all of those materialistic possessions, and just be independent and free in many terms. It might be financially, it might be, you know, when you want to build confidence, when you want to build charisma, you just gotta let some things go. I guess I put it that way. You see, the thing about this generation right now is not about having more things or knowing more stuff. You know, Wikipedia and Google already knows a lot of things. They already know a lot of things that we don't, and at the same time we can just look it up. So it doesn't really hold any value. Information nowadays is a commodity. The problem here, or let's say the goal of ours, should be letting things go. Not gaining, but letting things go. And that should be one of our priorities. That's why I'm talking about distractions, and I believe they can be enemies sometimes to our lives. So let me put it this way. You have activities in this list which are, for example, TV shows. I'm not talking about just watching them, I'm talking about binge watching them, or watching them in big amounts, playing video games. It could be indulging in fast food, or procrastination, or sleeping more than you should. And these activities are taking away energy, time, resources, and a lot of stuff from you from doing these things. With these things being, for example, working on a business, I don't know, listening to podcasts, reading books, finishing some important stuff, or maybe even working out. All of these things, which are pretty basic, they can actually benefit your life and then benefit your personal growth. So the problem here is when you are stuck in these activities, it's almost impossible for you to start doing these activities right away, like this. It's almost impossible. The reason for that is when you're already hooked here, they have you under control. You're hooked and you can't do nothing about it. You gotta find a way to go from this position or this situation or this state of mind into this one. Now I call this, not that I call this, but I understand this as your brain. For example, when you're in this state of mind, your brain is in a passive state of mind, or I can even call it a beta state of mind. You're not doing anything active, you're not pushing yourself and you're not quitting your comfort zone. Thus, you're staying in the same place where you were, for example, yesterday, the day before, 1 week ago, doesn't matter. You should avoid, indulging in stuff too much as possible. For example, when you have relaxed time, relaxing is good, but then once it hits this tipping point and you do more of it, it just goes decline and just, plummets the quality of your life. So these activities prevent you from doing this, and you gotta find a way to go from this to this, because, well, this is beta state of mind and this is alpha state of mind. Here, for example, let's say if you are going to the gym and hitting your workouts, you're actually having yourself a bit of, not having, but you are quitting your comfort zone and you're doing a little bit of discomfort for yourself, and thus you're growing. No growth happens in a place of comfort, remember? So another thing is, for example, if you're watching on a very important task or complicated task when it comes to, let's say, business or self-development or education, college, whatever that might be, you cannot go from this to this because, well, you have distractions over here. So the solution I provide here is to step back. And by step back, I mean when you're already hooked and under control of these activities that don't really bring value and benefit to your life, you gotta somehow switch from this position, step back, observe the situation, and then go into this position or this, let's say, activities that actually bring value to your life. Now, stepping back means something very subjective. For example, for me, that can be meditating, going for a walk, or doing something with my friends, maybe simply just going out for food. It can help me rewind and see the situation from a different perspective, and then actually switch to active mode, or let's say alpha state of mind. Anyways, so here are some examples that I think might work. One of them could be dopamine detox. I used to do dopamine detox a couple of months ago. I did one and it was quite interesting for me because, well, when you do dopamine detox, you take away all the distractions that are in your life, or let's say you just stop them, you actually block them, and you start doing the meaningful stuff that actually matter to you. One of them could be journaling, or another one would be, for example, becoming a minimalist and giving away all the stuff that are present in your life. It could be video games, it could be, stuff like physical things that don't really contribute to you, clothes, etc., etc. One of them would be lift weights, another one would be try to live one day without phone or anything like that. So basically what I wanted to say is that when we are getting distracted, we have a lot of things to focus on simultaneously, and when you don't focus on one thing, your life doesn't improve. For example, if you want to do fitness, you can't focus on a lot of things at once because, well, you cannot devote a lot of energy into your fitness, and then it can be something very messy and you won't see results. So I started seeing a lot of distractions in my life, and one of the ways to eliminate them was to actually never indulge in them again. Now this sounds very, easier said than done, but as I've said before, I go for a walk, I do some meditation, and when, let's say, timeline, right? These passive state of mind activities are being done, and then I switch them off. Like I'd step back, I go out for a walk, I do something, and then I start a clean sheet by doing other things that actually matter to me and are beneficial to me. If you've enjoyed this video so far, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. I'm gonna be creating more videos around fitness, self-help, and psychology, and maybe even lifestyle in the future. So you gotta stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Big Kaiser signing out. See you.